it's realizing the programming that's been instilled in your mind since before you can even recall your first memory has been false, has been incorrect, has been invalid, has been a virus. It is, because it is a virus. It's a very unhealthy way of living. It is like a virus. And living for, like, let's say years and years with an internal illness that you don't know that's there, but sort of is eating away at your health in some way, and then all of a sudden realizing, like, oh, it's because I was allergic to onions or whatever the fuck, and every time you ate onions it would worsen it, and then when you realized that it was the onions and you removed it all together, it was like you feel so free and you feel so liberated and you feel so good again, and it's like, oh, that one fucked up thing that was holding me back from feeling my best was a fucking onion. And I don't know where this analogy with an onion, I'm not great with analogies, like, ever, really bad, but I think you get my gist. Hopefully. I kind of got my gist. Did I? I don't know. So yeah, so when you realize, like, that virus is just like a programming that was instilled in you against your will, and again, no one to blame, so to say, like, if it was instilled in you by your parents and your society, it's because somebody instilled it in them without them even realizing it. That's what the whole thing of, like, healing generational trauma is all about. Healing the generational wounds, healing the generational insecurities, being the first person in your bloodline to do things differently, to live life differently, to exist as a human in a completely different way. That is why it is important, because your entire bloodline had no choice, had no capacity to even, like, have the opportunity to stop and reflect on whether or not the ways they were behaving was, like, healthy and, you know, correct and psychologically well-being and, like, good for my mental health. They were at fucking war. There was famine. They didn't have food. They had to survive. Like, that was the most important priority. They needed to physically survive. Whatever the fuck was going up on here was nowhere near a priority. And fair enough. Like, fair enough in our innate biology. I don't know the right words. Let's just say, in our innate biology, the first and most important thing that our body, our brain, our heart, or whatever our ass thinks about and cares about is our survival. All right? Our mental health is, like, second tier to that. Always. Our anxiousness, our state of peace, or whatever, that comes second place to our physical survival as living bodies on this planet. They're not going to have the time to sit down and journal about their feelings and about their insecurities and, oh, why am I seeking this validation from this fucking person that I don't really actually know all that well, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, no. But we live in a time, right? I live in, I don't know. I don't want to place every human being under this umbrella, because there are still parts of the world that are living in the state of survival, like physical survival, and they don't have that privilege of being able to even think about, like, what's going on in here. So I don't want to umbrella the entire population. I understand that I'm living in a time as well as a place of immense privilege, and I come from that.